Today we're going to be going over Unit 6, Lesson 1 notes. This is the probability unit. On this one we're going to talk about is normal distribution. So if you look at the first four, I want you to take a second to look and think about which one do you think doesn't belong and why. So think back to what you did in IM1. Okay, there could be a case for any one of these to not belong. So for A, it is the only one that is a box and whiskers. It's the only one that has an outlier, which is that little dot right there. That's an outlier. Excuse me. And if you discount the outlier, this one is a little bit more symmetric. So C is a little bit odd. It is a dot plot. It's pretty uniform. It's pretty straight across. It's not symmetric. It's not skewed right or left or anything like that. Now B and D, we can definitely tell are both going to be histograms. B, this one is skewed right because more of the data is on the left-hand side. And then D is more skewed left. So a lot of very different things. Each one of them could have a reason for not belonging. All right. One very important type of data distribution is called normal distribution. In this case, the word normal has a special meaning for statistical distribution. In this task, you will be given a pair of data distributions represented with the histograms and distribution curves. In each pair, one distribution is normal and one is not. Our job is to compare each of the distributions and come up with a list of features for normal distributions. So here for number 1, we can see the one on the left is always going to be normal, the one on the right is not. So one thing I can see, this one is a little bit more symmetric, okay? Meaning if you cut it in half, the left side looks a lot more like the right side. Here, it's not a great one. This one looks like it's more skewed left. Okay. So if we keep going on, here, this one is normal, that one's not. Very easy to see for this one is that the mean, the median, and the mode are all at the same point. And this will come in handy later. Here, this one, they're not the same. Okay, here we have, again, this number 3 is symmetric. And the one on the right would be more skewed left. Go ahead and write that down. Okay, here if we look at this one, we have inflection points that are 1 standard deviation away. This means this is the symbol for standard distribution. We're going to be talking about that a lot. For me, it looks like a O with a hat on or a line on the top of it. Okay, so standard deviation. This one is symmetric. This is also unimodal. Unimodal, meaning it only has one little hump on here. This one on the right has 2, so this is bimodal. Okay. And again, the one down here has 3, so this one is multimodal. mini peaks, okay? And this one is unimodal. We can definitely see that one. All right, and if we keep going here, this one is approximately normal. So this one we can see that with the box and the whiskers and the histogram, it is symmetric. This one would have been skewed. It's more on the left side, so we say it's skewed right. And if you look at the box compared to the two whiskers part, it's more on the left side, so it's skewed right. All right, this one we definitely have. It is normal. We will be working with these numbers a lot coming up in this unit. This one we can see it is unimodal. It is symmetric. Okay, this one is multimodal. So definitely tells you a little bit more. All right, so here we can see that it tells us standard deviation is at 3. Oh, that's horrible. And the mean is at 3, and the standard deviation is a 0.5 away, which looks pretty good. This one, again, it's at 3, and it's 0.25 away, so it's right in the middle. That's pretty close, makes it a higher peak, right? And here, when it has a standard deviation of 1, it is a lot further. So this one, so what does the standard deviation tell us about its distribution? It tells us how spread out it is from the mean. So how far spread out the data is from the mean. And then how does it change the curve, and why does it have effect? The closer it is together, the higher it's going to be. And the more spread out, the lower the curve. Excuse me. Now, on the next page is, it's just a bunch of information that I thought would be very important to you. And it's all about normal distribution. So normal distribution is symmetric. The mean and the median are equal. So the frequency curve is symmetric. Also has a normal curve, has inflection points at plus or minus 1 standard deviation from the mean, which we will go into more. Has a single mode, unimodal, remember? And this is very important, which we will get into a lot, but is something you want to do. 1 standard deviation is 68%. 2 standard deviations is 95%. And 3 standard deviations is 99.7%. Okay, those are 3 numbers you are going to be getting into quite a bit. All right, now go ahead and work on your assignment.